Thank you, Kushila. Thank you to welcome me in your masterclass. So good day, everybody. This is the first time for me to be for a masterclass in Zoom meeting. I will do my best to be as understandable as possible in the language of Shakespeare. Thank you. So we are going to talk about real estate today, the evolution of our habit linked to the evolution of our habits. We are the smartest spaces. Why? Because we have always adapted to pushing our limits and our genius. But how does this reflect on real estate? We can see how the world is changing and how we have to adapt, questioning our habits in part of evolution. Our evolution has increased since the creation of the Gregorian calendar. Why? Because we were able to organize ourselves and project, to understand that time does not act only on you and me, but that we can act on the weather, on the time and our environment. Yes, while we have spent centuries observing the moon and the sun, thinking that we are unique and that the Earth is the center of the galaxy. And finally, the observation showed that we were in a circle around the sun. But the last 100 years have been crazy. What happened in the 100 years is incredible, which changed the speed of things. We changed the speed of things. We changed our organization. We have traveled the seas, and we have traveled our galaxy. We can meet and interact through our screens, whether they are computer, tablet, smartphone, from any place in the world with one click. Here we are. I don't know if if you are like me, but we are still running and we never have time. We always do several things at the same time. Isn't it, Kushila?
That's true.
So to understand the real estate market responses to COVID-19 pandemic, let me go through a report, fantastic report by PricewaterhouseCoopers. More than a year after the outbreak of COVID-19, real estate leaders are still coming to terms with the enormity of the immediate economic fallout from the pandemic and the far-reaching consequences for how people live, work, and interact with the built environment. A report from the PwC highlights the changing trends across the world, and we can see that in Mauritius, we are not exception. It's world changing. We are in a crucial time for real estate to showcase leadership in driving change with the emerging trends in the real estate. The evolving trends shaping the real estate industry. How COVID-19 accelerate many existing trends like retail, footprint reductions, while it's spanned new ones, such as an increased focus on social justice and health and wellness, and stopped others in their track, like the appeal of big cities. The demographic shifts continue to shape investor demand and city rankings. The trend, 18-hour cities. I don't know if you can understand the difference between the sunset, the sunrise to the sunset, and between the trends of 18-hour cities continue to dominate the overall real estate prospects, powered by strong growth, home building outlook, affordability, and job prospect. We are all concerned by the change. And all the aspects of our life are always in the progress, in adaptation, to be at the time where we are living, with all the crises, with all the COVID-19 we can support, with all the big transformation in the world, with the climate changing also impact our life. Increasing interest, to come back to the trend of the 18-hour cities, increasing interest in suburbs make more attractive Texas Belt cities. Cost-conscious companies will gravitate towards cities that are business-friendly and low cost with large growing workforces. So the economy, the economy will impact also with our environment, and the economy will impact also with the real estate, because you will change your lifetime, your organization, your privacy life, and your business life. The economy in real estate sector and on exodus to the birds, work from home changes office outlook, the essentials, safety and wellness, social justice and racial equity now. Stores still matter. Affordable housing remains a major issue. The great fiscal challenge. For this point, do you have any question? Can we be interactive between the audience of and me? Maybe there is some question. Maybe we can exchange. Maybe my pronunciation has not been enough clear on my wording. I don't know. Kushila, do you have some remarks and question?
I don't have any questions so far. I see Avnish saying he has no questions as well.
Okay. Do we understand the principle and the aim of our life from where we was as from the beginning of this world, and let me not say beginning of this world, but 2000, 3000 century and now, how can we manage at the speed of the transformation? It's crazy, and real estate is really affected of that. And real estate have to be reorganized. So of course, the real estate market will be also affected by the pandemic COVID-19. And as it was in the past, and as it will be in the future, because even if we can see some a new normal coming, I think we try to be in adaptation of this new normal, because we've got different definition of the new normal depending on where you are. So, and also depending also with your different point of view and different problem you meet every day. So the economy through real estate capital markets have settled most anticipate overall real estate prices to fall to 5 to 10% as incoming is curtailed for several years. Industrial properties, data centers, and single family homes are expected to rise in value, while retail and hospitality will see the largest decline. We are on a country in Mauritius of a lot of hotel. We can see how our economy has been affected by the hotel, with this economy for the tourist economy. And a lot of employees, director, also in our just view, the firm to organize this economic system has been affected and have to reinvent the new normal, a new business, a new environment. The long-term outlook in the real estate sector hinges on the country's ability to rein in COVID-19. But we can say now, after 2 years, we are on the road to recovery. More than a year after the outbreak of COVID-19, real estate leaders are still coming to terms with the enormity of the immediate economic fallout from the pandemic and the far-reaching consequences for how people live, work, and interact with the built environment. As all the leaders canvass for this global edition of emerging trends testify, the catalytic effect of COVID-19 and the number of major trends, such as working from home and online shopping, has been the main narrative for the industry across the world. So we can see also how we are affected in the business environment, and how we will see later in the discussion how the directors of companies have to understand to manage the work from home to the work to the office. So the flexibility for the management is completely different. And of course, each employee also have to have different habits. So that means in your house, at home, with your family, you will be also affected, because you have to find a place where you can have a nice ambience to work without baby crying behind, without the cars in the streets, without, so that is really difficult for us to exist, to work, to be normal. That's where the new normal coming, because you can understand what is the new normal. A new normal, unfortunately, it's not for the better. It's just to have a good life, to survive, and to progress. So your real estate will be systematically affected by all this environment. So we can say at the same time, the health crisis and the prolonged lockdown are serving to question some of the received wisdom around the built environment. That being said, industry players are hopeful a consumer spending-led economic recovery feeding through into an uptick in real estate business in the second half of 2021. We've seen some in China and other parts of Asia. I've already seen retail sales boost in recent months by revenge spending. That is a nice term, revenge spending. It's interesting also because again, there is always some interest to how can I say in English, we can in a worst case, we can always find a light. We can always find opportunity. So we come back to the flexibility. The industrial players have to think about flexibility to manage. So again, we can observe in the real estate some opportunities start with some industrial players, with some, we've got in Mauritius a lot of call center, and we can see how they have been affected at the beginning, but in fact, it's a real opportunity for them because they are in a growth environment and in acceleration on their business, and they have to produce more because we are all we are connected with our smartphone and with our tablet and with our computer. So we are always connected and we are always working through the screens everywhere in the world. So my life changed completely again. I need to have a place in my home to organize that. And I need also to have my desk. My desk is different. My desk is in my computer. My desk is in my laptop. My desk is in a smartphone. This is where the big change is coming. So of course, the infrastructure, road infrastructure, today we've got a metro in Mauritius. That will be, you can see how the traffic is different now. We can also have a light of this crisis because the traffic road is different, is less compared with before, but also because we've got some nice involving in the traffic road. So there is a broad acknowledgement that the unprecedented level of fiscal, of monetary stimulus supporting the global economy come with their own threats to market volatility. Of course, the economic also is affected, and that also affects the real estate because of the changing. And how can I say, the interest, how to make money, how to your investment will change also. So to continue and balance, despite more volatile inflation expectations, the extraordinarily loose monetary environment is expected to keep interest rates low for the time being, and making the yield spread for real estate over other assets classes, usually compelling to investors. So, I've been clear, Kushila?
Yes, Lionel. We have some questions. Would you like to take them now?
Yes, if you want.
All right. Since we also wanted to keep it a little interactive, So there's one in French. Quels sont les défis auxquels les propriétaires des biens immobiliers pourraient être confrontés dans les années à venir? On a remarqué dans certains pays que les gens s'installent à la campagne plutôt que dans les villes.
So, do you want I answer in French or in English?
Any language you want to.
Okay. So Tyrone is not here.
He's here. I can tell him later. If you talk in French, I can translate.
It's exactly what I say at the beginning of our masterclass. In fact, you're right. It's a good question. So the value of the property will still the same, even if we have some decrease. Sometimes we've got some decreasement depending of the quarter where you are located. What is the value, the environment value of your properties? But you're right, with the COVID-19, some people, and especially people living in apartments, want to live in a campaign, want to have a garden, want to be out of the box, of the concrete box. So it's a good question, and that is the trends. That is the observation to organize the trend of what will happen in 2021. We are at the end of the 2021. But what will happen next year in 2022? And probably for the 3, 4, 5 next years. Because it's like a boat. When you want to stop a boat, it's continue, because you can't stop it immediately. I don't want to say what happened in Mauritius a few months ago with a boat, never find a break on our coast. But yes, we can say there is a new trends coming. So let me continue, and you will get your answer. By contrast, lenders are expected to adopt a far more cautious approach to real estate, and especially this year, 2021, because in 2020 we have observed, we have took the mountain in the face, you know. So now we are observing, and we try to understand what we can do, how we can adapt. And the next compare with equity investors, but also compare with their approach to the asset class during the first lockdown of the year ago. Residential is also in favor of a stable income provider, but there are additional reasons. Industry players see investing in housing, social, affordable, and private rented. So that gives you probably one answer. As fulfilling a basic need in society, and as such very much part of their environmental, social, and governance agenda, what we call ESG. That see overwhelmingly a favorable supply-demand dynamic, which make housing a prudent defensive play for the foreseeable future. The look for the office sector is altogether more difficult to predict, given that sentiment here is influenced by such varied forces for change. The rise of working from home, the increasing concern for the health and well-being of employees, and the eerie appeal of long commutes in big cities. Again, you've got the second part of your answer. It's okay?
Yes, it's okay. Thank you.
Any other question?
Yes, we have another question. It says, following the COVID-19 pandemic, how do you see the trend in investment from foreigners into real estate in Mauritius? In the Mauritian market, do we solely rely on foreigners or Mauritians also? Based on your studies, what do you foresee? Okay. This is from Avanish.
Okay, thank you for your question. You know, many projects are emerging in the Mauritian real estate landscape. We often lack cohesion with the existing. Sorry to not be direct with your question with the answer, but let me come back to the situation where we are in Mauritius about real estate. Because real estate is not to build one building. It's to build the future. It's exactly what's happened with the train. Look at what's happened with the train. It's interesting because the train was fantastic. The train goes everywhere in Mauritius long time ago. And we changed the train for the buses. I love some big player in buses company, so I don't want to be rude with what's happened. But even if it was an interesting economy, the buses was different because when you have buses, you need a road, you have a noise, you have pollution. But again, the things change. With the damage, what we did, not with the buses, but what we did several years past ago, with the problem of our climate, we can see the buses will be electric or with other source of produit how can I say it, for like a fuel, not a fuel, it will be another type of I have the term energy. Okay, so it will be less for carbonite and etc. It will be good for the health, good for the green environment, etc. But the metro coming, so we come back with the metro. It's a system on rail. So we are still going in deeper with more flexibility, and that change our system because it's an additional system to reduce the road traffic damage, cars. Okay. It's also a problem because some industry won't sell some cars, of course. So this is another problem. But we can imagine the population will be we are increase the population. So of course we need always some cars. There is a lot of people, or in the family you've got minimum 2 cars. So unfortunately the traffic environment will still probably the same in the future with traffic jam, but we will have more flexibility. So to come back to the real estate, the cities have to be different and the real estate have to be adapted with this environment. This is why it's interesting what we try to increase in Mauritius, smart cities. Smart cities take on all their importance because they will create this necessary integration to facilitate the move in the cities. The move in the cities, I love this term. The move in the cities, it's interesting because we try to reduce the time or the distance between point A to Z. Because before you have minimum to go to work, it's minimum half an hour to more than 1 hour. So with the smart cities, you have just to change the streets, to go at the opposite of the cross, to go to the next building, and you are arrived. So that will change probably our habit, and that will change also the real estate. So small city scheme is an ambitious economic development program. I've just taken definition I've seen on Google. Aim at consolidating the Mauritian international business and financial hub by creating ideal conditions for working, living, and spurring investment through the development of smart city across the island. And that is the one answer of the question. It's not across the island. It's not just that. It's also over the island, because more our real estate will be adapted for Mauritian. It will be, of course, adapted for the people who come from abroad. And you can see that what's happened with the different schemes proposed by the government. It's clever because the different schemes open the Mauritius to the world. So when you are a foreigner now, you can buy for minimum 6 million rupees. You can buy what we call ground floor plus 2. In a building ground floor plus 2, minimum ground floor plus 2, you can buy an apartment. So you don't have a resident permit, but you've got an apartment and you come from abroad, and you can reside in Mauritius, or you can invest in Mauritius and rent for Mauritian or rent for foreign people. So the opening market is really interesting, and that gives a lot of potential of real estate in Mauritius. To come back to the COVID-19, what we have observed also, we find that the land of around 400 square meters, it's approximately 10 pairs, between 1.5 million to 2 million rupees, was completely increasing. There is a lot of projects have been sold during the last 2 years with a small market, affordable market. I don't want to say small, but I want to say affordable market for Mauritian and not for foreign people. That is for Mauritian. And in the same way, we have adapted a new project in Mauritius the last 3 years in this, for house, what we call the townhouses, or there is another name, another word for that. But the houses, joint houses, So the joint houses, it's interesting also because that give possibility to invest between an amount of 6 to 10 million rupees. It's affordable prices, not for everybody, but it's a new range of consumers, of investors, and that is it's really new in Mauritius, and it's very the world was semi-detached. Sorry, so the world was semi-detached, and that is very interesting because that gives you a new opportunity of market in Mauritius. So yes, the progression, what we have been exposed during the COVID-19, and also with just the changing in the world, give some new opportunity to be more to adapt the real estate for the population, for investors, for a new business to be adapted to the new normal. We observed that the offices were empty during the COVID-19 period, forcing business leaders provide flexibility and to reorganize the business and to organize the spaces between the work from home again to the work from work to business to office. So to find the balance. So that is a new problem to target for an industrial players or entrepreneurs, and it has also to be organized for that. But that gives new opportunity. If you've got investment in the offices, you've got some new clients, because now the last 1 month ago, we have seen something new coming. Again, the people from abroad coming in Mauritius. We can see the players in industry find new opportunity to new clients. There is a wake up, a world wake up. We can see that, and we can see also now they have the government reduced the time from 14 days to 7 days for people with vaccination. So that is very interesting and give us good opportunity in real estate to be in the future more, j'ai envie de dire, pour avoir de nouvelles opportunités et pour pouvoir maintenir nos activités et pouvoir maintenir les emplois. Voilà. J'espère avoir pas été trop long. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions? Do you have some more questions?
Thank you very much, Lionel. I don't see any questions on the chat so far. So participants, if you have any questions, you may raise your hands as well. Yes.
What can I say also, because we've got one point we didn't been in deeper, we didn't work on this point. It's about real estate can be a side business in the minds of and post the COVID and post the pandemic. So I think there is some opportunities, there is some new potential business, but also don't forget, real estate, it's a business, and it's a business, interesting business where everybody can try to play in this business. It depends what we are talking about when we say a side business, because any business has to be done by a professional. Every business has to be, there is always a minimum to understand and to know. And, you know, we've been blacklisted. Okay, that is a big trouble for Mauritius, but we are coming out of that. There is, again, the government gave a big effort to coming out of that. And that is really interesting. And I hope so. We will go out of that soon. And to be honest, real estate has to be done by professional. But I've got in my, if I can, Kushila, I've got in my mind to organize a real estate formation to give opportunity for people who wants to try in this business. I've got in my mind to organize a session of work, and between this, because it's not already organized, but between this time, maybe we can organize if people are interested to understand and to have more advice about real estate. You can give me my phone number or my email address. I will be always happy to inform and try to help people who want to come in real estate. I love to train people. I love to share with the people. I will be very happy.
Thank you so much. That I believe is very much appreciated by everyone present. I have a few questions. So there's 3 questions actually. So first one, is this the best time to invest in real estate?
There is no best time. There is, money time. Money time. It's always a good time when you can win money. We've got a lot of increasement in materials. There is not really a decreasement on the price, and I'm sure there will, in the future, the price will continue to grow. So I think it's now or never. No, but now it's good. Before it was very good, and in the future it will be also very good. So you can start if you have opportunity to have investment, to organize an investment. You can start, and especially the bank will follow you. Of course, if you are if you've got all the facility, all the organization to be accepted by a bank or to organize a credit, but it's a good time for that because the bank are more interesting, and the rate are not more interesting. That's a good term. The bank are give service and give better rate for investors. So I think it's a good opportunity, but it's not the best time. The best time was not before. It was not. Is not now. Is not in the future. It's always a good time to invest. It's never the good time to sell, because when you are selling, you want always expect with increasement of the value, and you are on the market value, and that is another point, because the market value sometimes could be very interesting, but sometimes, so it's like comment dit-on la bourse en anglais? Le marché boursier. Yes. So the stock market is exactly the same. So you have to understand where and when it's a good opportunity. But real estate have been always in progress, always. Sometimes in big cities you've got some depreciation, but you can see it's always a big increasement coming after. So in the time, the progress in real estate is always good. If you know how to build, if you know to find a good location. So this is why the real estate agents are here. Normally, if they are professional, they are here to advise you.
Thank you so much. We have another question. Before we go to that one, what is the annual return one can expect investing into real estate in Mauritius? That is rental yield. So this is a question.
Okay. If I stayed to be direct, if you spend a million euro, you will get probably under 1% return on investment. If you spend 1.5 million rupees, like I said, for first investment to buy a plot of land of 10 pairs, you will get some opportunities to get minimum 5, 10, 20% at the resale. In average, the yield on real estate, it's between 3 to 8%, depending on what you've got in your hands. If I am a professional in a real estate, I will always be focused in location. Location type of construction, builders, promoter are the start of your future interest for your investment. That will give probably the best opportunity to have the best yield. So again, it's so if it's a small investment, you can try by your own. If it's really if it's just investment to invest and to get a yield, a return, please go to see a professional. They will help you to advise you. That is important.
All right, let's take another question. What advice do you have for newbies in the real estate business with the huge number of competitors in the market today? How to survive?
Very interesting question. I'm really concerned by this question. As you can see, all my answers coming with the term of professional. Unfortunately, it's like real estate, it's like a car dealers. You've got some professional and you've got some amateurs. Professional is here with ambitious to maintain his business, to have an economic, a good environment economic, to have a sustainable business. Amateurs is just here to get money. That's it. He wants just his money. So it's a really it's a very good point, and this is why I think you're right. We have there is too much people on this market, and unfortunately, the majority are not good. I'm not saying I'm good compared with others. No, I'm not saying that. I said there is a good players, but in majority, because there is no restriction in this business, there are too much people, and most of them are not reliable. This is why I'm proud about. I'm very concerned, and I'm proud about to have access with the government to organize a professional system, like lawyers, like doctor, like all the investment company organized with the FIC. We have to be registered with training adapted, because we are concerned with lawyers, notaries, bank. We are not just here to sell a plot of land or to sell property. We are concerned by a lot of things around this business, and we have to know how to manage an article in a contract for a tenant, for buyers, to help with a new scheme with the ADB, for example. So there is a lot of things to understand in the real estate. It's not just a wall and the square meter is just this rate. No, it's not just that. It's a lot of things around. So we have to adapt our knowledge. We have to be diplomat or to have a training to be a professional and to give the best advice. That is my point, because I'm really concerned by that. It's what I would like to do. I said after my presidency is the Mauritian Chambers, French Chambers president, I said I have to do now for the next 2 years, I have to do these things. Unfortunately, COVID-19 came, and I was again in deeper in my company to reorganize my company. But it's a really good point. I need some arms, some hands to help me to organize that, because I think that will be very interesting for our country, and also to be on the line of the Europe system, because as you know, the blacklist is also come from the Europe. It's not just So yes, it's really important.
All right, we have a couple of more questions, like we have 3 more. So the next one is, what is the best course for a youngster or student to study in the real estate sector, either a bachelor or a master's? What are your recommendations?
In Mauritius?
I believe so. It's from Ritik, maybe he can confirm.
For my knowledge, there is no, it's a point again. It's exactly what I would like to do. I would like to organize a real estate training, to organize a real estate diploma. There is nothing in Mauritius. Nothing what I believe. But maybe I haven't all the potential training in Mauritius. But unfortunately, I haven't seen some things. You know, it's exactly. I have the same problem with selling. When we are looking for salesmen, unfortunately, we find people from marketing. But marketing and sales, it's very, very close. But it's not the same business.
All right, I see. I think it's a follow-up to the question you just answered, Lionel. I see that Ritik is saying by online study, there are no courses. He's asking if online there are any specific courses, I believe.
Okay, so yes, online I've seen, but not in Mauritius, in abroad. So I've seen some very good courses, but it's difficult for me to recommend one better than the one. Maybe we can have a chat in a private room to understand it was a lady, no? What she wants to do, and how she wants to do, exactly what in real estate she would like to be, and I think it's interesting to discuss of that with pleasure. I will be happy to have an exchange and maybe advise if I am able to advise.
Thank you so much for this. I see Avanish has his hand up. Avanish, would you like to comment? Can you unmute yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Lionel. Thank you for this training today. So I apologize for the background noise. I'm working from home currently, so the new normal, as you said it. I'm currently at work. So one of my question is perhaps my last question. What do you think of private equity fund and then investing into real estate in Mauritius? Because I have done some studies and I see that there are not so many private equity firms in Mauritius. So are you for or against that particular kind of investment?
It's very good. It's interesting because it's independent for our business and the potential of our business and how to manage investment, of course. So there is a lot of equity fund in Mauritius. There is a lot of equity fund, the private equity fund. I think it's a good potential of investment, and it's probably one of the good and facilitate the opportunity to invest in a real estate, because you can be a small player, and you will always get some professional around an equity fund. It's a really good opportunity, and you will learn a lot, because in an equity fund you have also some different type of professional and that will be a very interesting opportunity for you to invest.
Okay,
I'm in line with your question.
Yes. And last one, as you mentioned earlier, for the training, etc., when do you intend to do so? Because as per the questions from our friends here, I can see many of us are interested into real estate business, etc. But merely the course and online class, I know that won't be enough. And today, when we turn to professionals and to seek advice, most of us, from my own experience, they have turned me down because they don't like competitors. So when do you intend to help the youngsters in Mauritius in that particular direction?
No, it's a good, it's a very interesting question or remarks. I think first of all, it's stupid to have this type of thinking because it's always interesting to have a new people coming. So in any group, so that is for me, it's interesting. So if you've got opportunity, if you can't go through the door, you can through the window. So I think it's a really good question, and there is a different aspect of that. We are not organized to today. We are not organized to train people in real estate, and probably what I've seen, it was very poor. Again, it's like I'm coming back to the seller, to the school for sale and the school for marketing. It's not the same formation. So the way how we give, how we would like to give training, from my side, it will be completely different. It's to understand selling, to understand the right, the law, to understand the technique of building. I'm not saying to come be like a mason, a constructor, no, but to understand the technology, to understand the land, the field, to understand the estate in Mauritius, to be appropriate at Mauritius. So to understand how the promoters working, how the individual working, because you know, some for example, the promoter employs some seller in a real estate seller. And in fact, we can see it's completely different working in a estate agent or working with a promoter. It's not the same business. It's like a car. If you are inside the showroom, it's another business. If you are selling car in a showroom, it's another business. Compared with somebody who wants to find people to buy a car. So to do that, you have to understand what is selling, but you have also to understand what is the term of buying, why people want to buy. So there is a lot of things to understand, and it's a good question. It can be in months, have to be in 2 years or in 3 years. We've also some I don't know how we say it in English, to avoir des stages, to have some time in a company with some professional to understand how they are doing, and also to have a training by a teacher in front of a screen or in physical. But yes, that will take minimum 2 years or 3 years, and it's exactly what I would like to do. It's very interesting, Kushila. I think we have to manage a course of real estate.
Definitely, Lionel.
And I would like just to add. Don't believe please don't believe, for the audience, don't believe we don't want to have new people in real estate. Even if I'm still young, I will very appreciate to have some young people around me, because when you are young, you are coming with new idea, and you need always some expertise from a young old man to progress in your life. So again, it's very interesting.
Thank you very much. Definitely, real estate business is really interesting. I've read at least one book also on real estate. Lionel, I see we're a little bit past time and we have 3 more questions. Would you like to take them, or should we skip them?
Yes, we can probably hit the last word.
All right.
Maybe
so,
we can converge the 3 questions in one.
Let me see. Let me ask the 3 questions and maybe you can reply depending on the, like you can put together the replies. Is it okay?
Yes.
All right. So one is, could real estate be a principal economic indicator for Mauritius following the COVID-19 pandemic? This is one question. And the second question, are we seeing digital innovation in real estate?
Saying what? Sorry?
Are we seeing digital innovation in real estate, e-commerce? This is the second one.
And the third one?
And the third one, with Immodir, you are a pioneer in online real estate listing. What are the next steps for you?
Okay. So thank you for the last question. So just to start with the first one, economic indicators in Mauritius. You know, we say in French, quand l'immobilier va, quand la construction va, tout va. I didn't invent this term. It's really interesting because that will give the understanding of the possibility to have an economic growth in our country with the real estate, and the government is not sees the opportunity of that. This is why they have developed some new scheme to attract for foreign people, but not just that. You can see how we have progressed about the opportunities for our Mauritian brothers and sisters to invest in Mauritius, and we can see everybody, and probably Mauritius is an example of the coefficient of the owners. You know, some countries don't have the opportunity to be owners, and they are just renting and spend a lot of money for nothing because they are just renting. When you are owners, when you are owner, you can invest on your plot of land. You can increase your assets, your asset, and you can of course rent your asset or live in your asset. So there is always some opportunity, growth opportunity. I hope I have answered to the question for the first one.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. For the second one, the digital e-commerce, maybe we can put the second and the third at the same level. E-commerce and digital, we are very close in terms of technology, new technology, new habits of the sales and or buying on screen. But real estate still and especially in Mauritius, people want to see, want to touch, want to be inside, and it's always difficult because real estate in 3D, you've got always a volume in front of you, so you want to understand not just on a sales plan, on what we call la vente sur plan, you know. So it's interesting to develop a new system. We try to attract on our side at Immodir, we try to attract people, of course, with the digital, and to be more concerned and more appropriate to get some new customers, and also to try to use the opportunity to advise people, to bring people with a professional like we are in Immodir, and but we are not arrived at the potential to just touch the screen to buy this property and to get your invoice directly on your smartphone, and to pay with a system. How we call the system? Push payment?
Yes, push payments.
So yeah, there is some we are not far of that, but we need. There is some possibility. There is some opportunity depending of which real estate are we talking about. But most of the selling for the major of the buyers want to touch what they are buying. And we have seen that in the COVID, because in the COVID, the people who was at the door to exit of their country because they can't be at the door of Mauritius. So some of them have tried to buy with distance and organize. Everything is organized to buy to buy like that. It's possible, but most of them want to come in Mauritius to finalize the deal. So they have respect of what we are doing. They have respect of what we are saying, but they won't touch. They run the reality in front of the face, you know. So yes, investment in real estate, it's never just like that, you know. It's always a project for investors. Private investors or industrial investors, it's a project. It's for the future. It's not for now. It's for the future.